3 takeaways from the Lakers parading past Memphis to the second round. Did this topic interest you? Let's go to the news. Anthony Davis and D'Angelo Russell were great and Dillon Brooks was once again terrible as the Lakers finished off the Grizzlies in Game 6. The Los Angeles Lakers obliterated the Memphis Grizzlies in an end-to-end domination as thorough as you'll ever see in a closeout game, eventually winning Game 6 by a final score of 125-85 on Friday night. In other words, they finally gave Dillon Brooks a 40-point loss, which brings us to the first of our 3 takeaways from a truly enjoyable blowout. Dillon Brooks is a clown. In order not to miss the latest Lakers news firsthand, it is very important that you leave your like so that YouTube continues to share these news with you. Back to the video. Brooks, who went into the series hoping to face the Lakers and LeBron James because it would test us good to knock him out in the first round, found out the hard way that the first part of that was true. Playing against LeBron did indeed test Brooks and his front-running friends, an exam they failed miserably over 6 games, but none in a more spectacular fireball of ineptitude than Dillon the villain. Brooks finished the playoffs with a PER of 1.7, the worst of any player in the entire 2022-23 postseason other than Jalen Noel of the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Grizzlies were outscored by 11.4 points per 100 possessions with Brooks on the floor, and were never better, only losing by 0.4 points per 100 possessions than they were when he sat, per NBA.com. Brooks made just 24 of the 77 shots the Lakers practically begged him to take by defending him like he was in health and safety protocols, good for a postseason career-low 31.2% from the field in the series. Brooks, a restricted free agent who one can't imagine Memphis is going to bend over backwards to keep, would have cost himself a ton of money if he had just played this horrifically. But when you add in the fact that his mouth kept writing checks that his much more talented teammates were left unable to cash as he was ejected for nut punches or benched for one-way shooting specialists, it is even harder to predict a big payday is coming. Add in that he's a front-running troll who has attempted to grift his way into basketball notoriety by talking a big game and then either ducking media obligations entirely and leaving his teammates to deal with the fallout from his latest humiliating failure, and who then blamed said media for making him a villain by quoting him accurately. And it's difficult to see teams lining up to pay a guy who appears both unaware of his station in the NBA and borderline unplayable in the playoffs. Brooks capped off his 10-point explosion in Game 6 by once again ducking any questions that won't come after a win. Dillon Brooks exited the locker room before the media was allowed to enter post-game, mercifully concluding his Cancun-bound clownery for the postseason, and leaving us plenty of room to talk about actually skilled basketball players. Anyway, leave your opinion in the comments because your opinion is very important to NBA icons. Subscribe to the channel because I will update you with more news from this information anytime. A big hug.